Hello everyone, my name is NerdBuilder. I'd like to welcome you back into another episode of MineColonies. I hope you're having a great day so far. So another week, another busy week, in fact, here in the colony with a few big upgrades that we were able to accomplish this week that took a couple days to do, but we not only did some upgrades, but we also extended our road out as well. As you know, we've been working on extending the roads throughout our colony. Little by little, we've been doing it. We've been doing it especially when we upgrade buildings, which we still have a good amount left to change over from the Mine Colony's original style to Caledonia. And right behind us here, you could see that these buildings all need to be updated. And also on this side, with the exception of the hospital and the builder's huts and the courier's hut there, the residential buildings, the tavern, the town hall, that guard tower, the university, all those things in that area all need to be upgraded to the new style. So going to be busy, but we're going to be looking to do those in the upcoming weeks. So let me go ahead, let me pop into the car here, and I'll go around and we'll show some of the upgrades that we've been doing before we get into today's build. And we're going to head right over to the other warehouse. So in the last, I believe in the last episode, you could see that we were constantly getting the warehouses full warning at the bottom. And it's not from our other warehouse. It's actually it was from this warehouse right here. So we do have a brand new warehouse over here, upgraded to level 5. You can actually see with the flag on top. I think that's a nice touch there. But yeah, so it looks identical to our other level 5 warehouse, and they're already starting to fill it up pretty well. You could see right here, this is just from maybe a few hours of after having this warehouse complete there. And you could see, and I'm just going to sort it while we're here, that we do need one more block of emerald. Unfortunately, we're actually nearly out of emeralds right now. May have to make a trip over to our village where we have our librarian and perhaps trade some paper for some emeralds here so we can craft another block, or a pirate raid, which that would also be ideal, so we can get a block of emerald there. So yeah, we still have to fix up the sidewalk here, but I'm happy we got this in. Let me pop around the corner here, because I also moved this house over. I did this off stream, but I also moved this house over a little bit more. So it looks like, for the most part, this actually fit in here perfectly, because if we want to have a street go down this way, we could. It pretty much, it does match up identically, so this actually fit in these pieces. It's kind of like fitting puzzle pieces in a way, but it worked out very well. So that way we can have the street kind of go down this way, maybe extend to the bottom part over in that part of the colony. There you can see where the building was, where there's a few indents in there and some cobblestone left over. But the other thing I'm going to show quickly is just that I moved another courier's hut right over here. So as we start to develop over in this direction here, I figure we'll start building some buildings there. So we'll probably extend the street out again. The border used to be right about like here-ish, maybe like just up here was the border. So we're going to start probably trying to clear this out now that this land should be within our colony, so we could take some more of it down, flatten some more land out over here, develop this area a little bit more. But yeah, so we're making some progress over here. We still have one more courier's hut that we need to build. If you remember, we used to have 2 courier's huts right here that were, again, next to the other warehouse, but since then, obviously took them down, and this warehouse is a little bit bigger, so moved this up a little bit. Still have to put the sidewalk in here, but yeah, I was very happy. This went a lot more smooth than the first warehouse that we did, and I think we preemptively moved a bunch of stuff out, and I think that helped a lot. And there wasn't that much different, like a variety of stuff. Like, it was a lot of agricultural products, just because, again, like, they're going to service the farms. That warehouse is going to service a lot of our farms, because again, our farms are all in that direction there. But yeah, so just to show, because I mean, we filled up this manual storage area. We did a decent amount of filling up in it here, and actually this right over here. So you can see like we have a ton of wheat. Again, wheat is no longer an issue. More wheat here, in fact, and we'll probably fill these other chests up too. But potatoes all over here, we actually had to destroy some because we had so many. And same thing here with carrots. Same thing, we had to destroy some. And over here with seeds, we almost had to destroy some, but some we also had to utilize our town hall because of how many seeds. I don't want to just throw them away because again they're good for composting there, and we had the space for them. Again, we have some canola seeds here, and actually took a bunch of canola out of here and moved it over to our fuel processing area here, and we have a bunch of random stuff in here too. And our iron supply over here is actually filling up very well. You can see like we have 3 double chests there and almost a 4th double chest completely full of iron. We cleared out our iron farm there, so that's one thing. And let's head on over here, and I'll show off very quickly. So we do have a new guard tower. Again, this courier's hut was recently put in here, and you can see we were extending the road all the way down. We actually fixed the staircases going down too, so our colonists can get up and down, because again, a lot of the workers down there reside in these houses over here. So we have a couple of these paths going down in between the houses. Here we still have a little bit of more road to fit in here, but you can see I put another guard tower right in here. I actually built this off stream. We had the extra blocks, so I figured, I'm like, this might be a good area, just because again we have a lot of residential areas here. So we also have the stairway going down this way, but we're going to continue progressing down this way as well, and probably put in a few more houses. My thinking is that the houses in the area by the tavern and that we're probably going to have to move them out, and I don't think that all of them are going to be able to fit in that area. So the likely spot is just where we were, that we're probably going to try to fit another house in there, because again, like, we have a lot of production buildings down here, and this area is pretty much full now. So something new that we came up with on Sunday, and we did it this week, was that the other mine that we have that's down the street initially was not working, because don't forget that we deconstructed and reconstructed it, and the miner that was there kind of glitched out and could not mine anything. And I thought it was because it was intersecting the old mine that was there, because again, the mine shafts didn't line up, but then like one part of it was digging into the other mine shaft, so I thought maybe that was causing issues. But I think the worker actually spazzed out, because I could not locate the worker, and they were gone off of there, and I wasn't aware if they died or not. I didn't get any warnings or any messages about it. So I hired someone new, and they were able to start digging there. But my thought was to give like a new space to start digging, that we would build a brand new mine over here, and we would purpose that other mine into one that we would use for hiring our quarry individual. So when we put a quarry in an upcoming episode, I think we're just going to assign that user to that mine right there, because again, the street, everything fits perfectly, and we've been remodeling it, so it would be a waste to have to take all of this down and reposition everything here. But I'll also show off very quickly, I'm not sure, we finished it up recently, but the nether mine here is all finished. This took a little while to do because it needed some materials that I actually had to go into the nether and do. So yeah, it looks a lot different, and this is in the fortress style here, because again, Caledonia did not have a nether mine there. I noticed with the build tool that not every type of style has every type of building there. So it looks like he's kind of spazzed out right now. But yeah, so we got the new mine put in over here, and I also put the guard tower in over here too, so I had this area cleared out over here. Again, this is right now, our colony does extend a little bit further down from this wall here, but the reason I'm just going to keep it where it is right now is we have a lot of other land within closer proximity that we can develop. So I think we should fill all that up before we start pushing the boundaries out a little, or pushing our boundaries out, taking the wall and moving it down further. I think we should extend some of our other areas over here. So it does leave this little gap right here that's about, I think it's about 12 blocks long. My one thought and I'm not sure if it's going to fit. So I think we're going to do either one of two things with this area. So eventually we're going to put in the concrete mixer. I'm not sure if that will actually fit in here, and I'll probably create the block in advance of the episode just to see if it can fit. I'm not sure how big it'll end up being. If it ends up being too big, I think what we might do is we might actually make this into a road way up here to connect our upper part over here down here, because again, don't forget we have that connection down there. But again, like if we want to be able to drive like down into here, I think like we should put some stairs and maybe a road coming through here, and then maybe we'll just put some trees or decor or something on the side of the road over here, because again, usually if we do a four wide street and we do two blocks of sidewalk on either side, which we've been doing throughout the colony, again, that's about 8 blocks, so we'll have a little bit left over, but maybe we could just put in some like benches or things of that nature there. So these things took a long time to do, especially the deconstructing of the warehouse. Took a stream and a half, actually about 2 streams to do it, and the mine between building it from scratch and upgrading it to level 5 took about 2 live streams too. So it kind of limited the projects that we could do today or this week here. So, but yeah, so a lot more upgrading to come. Now I'm actually going to right before we get into our build here, we're gonna do one other thing. So I'm gonna actually park the car back over here, and we're gonna take I think we'll take the cargo plane. I haven't really shown off the cargo plane too much, but we're gonna go for a quick ride. So let me get the engine started here, and we could see it is started. So we actually put a runway in by our iron farm. So I think we're going to start putting runways in at various points around the world where there's something of interest. So like our terracotta desert, for example, so I can really max out what we can bring back. And I think by our end portal too, I might do the same. But over here, I decided to put one in by our iron farm, because that way when that farm really fills up, we can take the cargo plane over there, and we can load up the cargo plane and bring it back. So theoretically, we could have put a road in here. And let me see, we're coming in a little high. We need to put like runway lights in. There we go. And let's see, luckily we have our stopper at the end here. Doesn't do that much damage. That's why I highly recommend putting some soul sand in there. You can see it rarely makes it past the first or second block here, but just a little bit of a buffer. But again, it's been such a long time since we've been over in this area here. But, our iron farm is still functioning and recently cleared out over here. So let me come down and just show. Yeah, so it's still running, but we emptied this out on our last stream there. So it's kind of empty there. But yeah, so just kind of having the runway in. This village is unfortunately has died out. We did borrow a couple colonists, or a couple villagers, villagers from that village to get our iron farm going. And the reason the iron farm is here is just because that is the closest, you can see right there, to our colony of any of the villages. So yeah, we'll eventually probably repopulate this one, but like things like the bed, and then there's still, I think we emptied that chest out. But at times before, we had the chunk loader mod, which is this little thing right here. It actually had to like stand here and so we could operate the farm there. But yeah, since then we have it like fully automated, so we don't have to come over here. We just have to come over here to empty out the iron farm every so often. So, but I think like I said, I was happy we got this runway in. I think we're going to do a few more across the world. We also need to put in some runway lights. I tried to make the runway a little bit longer, because again, that way if we come in a little higher, that it's easier for us to be able to slow down in time. And worst case scenario, we have this soul sand patch, which works out perfect for the planes. We have it by our other airstrip by our house too. But yeah, so we'll probably put some more runways in too over time, put some lights in over here too. But yeah, so with that's pretty much all the updates. Again, not a ton of updates, but again, we did some bigger projects this week, which kind of slowed us down a little bit. So Yeah, I think what we're going to do, let's go ahead and let's hop in. Actually going to have to fly back and we will head on over to the site for today's build, which will be the shepherd's hut, the sheep farmer. Will be our build for today. I think we're going to try to start knocking out some additional farms. And again, we're getting into the home stretch of buildings left for us to build for the first time. So let me fly back over and I'll head over to the area and I will meet you guys there. Okay, so we're near the western part of our colony, somewhat western part where the big wall is back here. Again, the border of the colony is right about that back wall, the flat wall back there. So we're pretty close to the edge, but we added a courier's hut in a few weeks back over in this direction. But I figure today, like, we should really start making more use of this back area and kind of fill this in. We can at least fit one more road going down, and it should push the border back a little bit, I'm thinking. And that way we can do some more digging, some more resource gathering, and kind of flatten this out. But we do have some room over here, and I figured this is the perfect place since we have our cowhands hut and our swineherd hut and the random cows and pigs that we let out after we rebuilt them. But I figured today what we're going to do is a shepherd's hut. And part of the reason I held off on this was because we had the auto sheep farm. We always had a lot of sheep, so there wasn't much of a purpose for it. We could get wool easily and dye the wool and that, and we do have our auto wool farm still. But I figure too, it's a good way so that way they're continually producing wool. Again, the composters can use wool for composting, so there's always going to be a use for it. Even though I take the wool out of our auto farm and stick it in the stash box or bring it over to the warehouse, it'll be good to get like an auto supply of that going. So the shepherd's hut is where the shepherd will breed and butcher sheep for food and wool. So again, you'll probably get raw pork, like the pork chops out of it, and the wool color there. You will have to capture and bring in 2 sheep to the shepherd's hut, as a shepherd will not catch and bring in any sheep. I think we have some wandering around. I'll have to do probably some tracking down because we don't have any over here. So we'll have to see. I'll have to see if we can find one and bring it back here. And the shepherd will only keep 2 sheep alive per hut level. So at level 5, they will have 10 sheep in their holding pens to breed and butcher. This means they will be faster at producing and collecting meat and wool. So at a building level of 1, going to have 2 sheep, which makes sense because they'll have to breed it. 2, 4, 3, 6, 4, 8, and 5, 10 maximum sheep there. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back into first person mode right here. And we're going to go ahead and craft the block here. Spruce. What do I have? Oh, those are oak. Okay, so we'll use oak wood for this, and I think I have a pair of shears. I'll just use this pair. So we're going to go ahead and you're going to need shears for this one and planks around. And let's take our build tool, and there we go. You can see the shepherd's hut right there. And let's go ahead and we're going to try to fit it in right here. So not exactly behind the hut there, but we'll try to start maximizing use back here. So let's go ahead and plop this down, and we will use the Caledonia style. And let me see, I just scrolled right past it. I did. Okay. So let's go ahead, probably under here and here. Okay. And we'll do level 5 here, and it looks like this is the front. Yep, right there. So, okay. Actually, not too big. And then here's the pen back here. So these people might not like it the most, but I think we're going to keep this right even up here, like what we've been doing all the way down. Again, the Caledonia style always has these stone bricks around the edge here, so we're trying to keep them kind of together. And I figure we'll leave this area kind of open, maybe plant some trees going down this way, like behind, so kind of just keep it nature-esque in the back here, because depending how big the buildings are, we have some room to maneuver back here just in case. But good. And actually, it's pretty comparable. It looks like in the Caledonia style, they make all of the huts very, very similar, if not the same. Pretty much the same, I think. So I wouldn't anticipate that the chicken farm would be any different coming up. But yeah, so looking good right here. And let's go ahead and let's place this down. And let's take a look here and see what we're going to need. So some oak planks, birch slabs, spruce stairs, looking pretty good. Not too difficult to do. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a time lapse of the build, and then from there we will come back in, take a look at the hut, and yeah, that'll be the episode. So let's check out the time lapse. Okay, and we're back. So, yeah, not that difficult, pretty easy build to do. This is like the level 1 obviously. The other farms, the swine herd and the cowhands hut, we didn't get to see it in the Caledonia style at level 1 just because again, we deconstructed, reconstructed and picked up the block and rebuilt it, but upgraded it at the same time. So because those are both level 4 ones, so we never saw that as at a basic level. But yeah, the pretty basic style here. So let's turn around and let's head right inside. Again, doesn't look any different than the other ones on the inside. Obviously, a little bit smaller than the other ones, but not too bad right there. And I'm actually going to come out and go around the back way, not to let any of the sheep out. I got a few. It turned out that there were a few wandering up the hill there, one white one, a couple gray ones there, and then I think it's a dark gray one right there too. So, but yeah, for the skills that are needed, you're going to need the focus and the strength skill. So I just hired Waylon, who is one of our new colonists, to take the lead here as our shepherd there. And you can see he's got the nice little stick and the straw coming out of his mouth too. So for a nice effect there. But let's take a look at level 2. So very basic, and I might actually upgrade this right away. I might have stun locked this one a little bit just because I put 4 sheep in here. Obviously, the maximum they can have is 2 at this point, and I put in a minimum stock. You can set a minimum stock here. Some raw pork chop because again, like we're going to be getting a lot of it, so that way we're not clogging up the warehouse. But also some iron axes and wheat as well. So yeah, I'll have to see because I set that just a little bit ago, and we haven't had a delivery just yet there. So, but yeah, pretty basic style, and I think this is going to help out. So we'll just, again, it's a good food source once again, and that way we should hopefully, and actually that's right, I should probably add that in there too, some shears as well. Let me see. Yeah, so that's right. So can he dye them too? Dyeing, shearing, feeding, and breeding. Okay, so he's got all of that. Let me add some shears. Forgot that because again they're going to be able to give some wool too. So let me set. We'll do two shears in there. So I'll put the request in for that there. So yeah, looking good in that. I'm happy we have this in. And yeah, that'll be the episode for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the look at the shepherd's hut here. If you did enjoy it, please consider dropping a like down below. It really helps out the channel and the community. It's a great free way to support us here. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Again, another excellent way to support our channel and our community. And we do have a Discord, which is open to everyone. So if you have a Discord and you're interested, head on over there, open to everyone. Hope to see you there. And yeah, so other than that, we'll be back in the next week with another one. I think we might be doing the chicken farm. I'm not sure yet, so I'll keep you guys posted. But until then, my name is Nerd Builder. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.